2025 Carolina and Tampa Bay preview edition of the Bottom Line Bombs. On Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code BOMBS. And now, with that.
Bring me everyone.
What do you mean everyone?
You're a crumb creep. I want to fight you. But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
A fucking loser!
It's bad luck just seeing a thing like that.
I'm Lou Holtz, and you're listening to the Man and the Box and the Bottom Line Bombast. Good luck to you.
And here we go. I believe we will start the song, and I think we will. No, it's not working. What the fuck? Here we go. Maybe not. Here we go. To the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the Laddie Daddy. Scumbagger Vance, the bet detective, the man in the box. He just all. Coming at you live Wednesday, July 23rd from Eagle Rock, California. That was just a little taste of Ozzy. Hopefully not enough taste to get sued, but he's dead now. Passed away, Ozzy Osbourne, at the age of 76 yesterday. One of those guys that may have been on your death list for a while. But he passed, and obviously a monster in the scene. I loved Ozzy. Everyone loved Ozzy, right? Grew up, got his cassettes, Ultimate Sin. Remember that one? After Blizzard of Oz, one he hated. I still liked it. I would ride my bike through the woods, go to wall-to-wall sound and video, and get some Ozzy Osbourne cassettes, and have his pictures from Hit Parader magazine. Hit Parader, a heavy metal magazine you would get as a kid, as I would get as a kid. Ozzy, of course, from Black Sabbath, but then his solo career, he was just, he was the man. He was Ozzy, known for his drinking and drugging. And his scary, scary voice. That was the thing. And KD on Hoops, who I've had on here before, one of my favorite writers. He's a music head. His Ozzy tribute was good. He's like, what made Ozzy scary was his voice. Nothing the rest of it. Whatever the rest was like just a costume. Like, eating bats, like, that was all staged. But once his voice, like, Jesus. That was a horrifying voice. But it's awesome. It's Ozzy. Anyway. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne, the Blizzard of Oz. One of the greats. Welcome to this Bottom Line Bombs as we continue our football summer. We will have the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. Last with the wrap up the NFC South. No guests, just me, just the man in the box. My Carolina Panther insider, Ryan O'Flanagan, was Flanagan from me by the main guys, Sean and Ryan. But that's fine, whatever. They let them spread out. I had them last year. You can go on over there. There's not too many Carolina insiders. But it's all right. The man in the box will take it. We'll handle it up. Because it's me and the C Generals. There's John in the chat room. What's up, John? He says, what's up, Bet Detective? You got a bomb, and that's a good reminder if you're watching on X. Come on over to the YouTube. That way you can hop into the comments. Eulogize the Prince of Darkness. And come on in for NFC South previews. I'll also have a man in the box segment. I'm not sure. I might play. That sound didn't really sound too well, but I might have a treat for you for my other podcast. Special interview. We'll see. We'll see how today's episode goes and how much time I have left. But of course, as you know, the Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews. Like I said, they had Carolina yesterday and my guest. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. That's a nice prize. Wouldn't mind getting my hands on that. I already have plenty of those to go. Yeah, so here we are. Nice, beautiful day. And almost coming one more week. Then we got August. And once August comes, then it's really serious for football. Right now, you're already seeing the training camp videos coming out. Oh, Jackson Dart threw a pick six. Dak threw a touchdown to Pickens. I'm sorry, that wasn't Pickens. That was from 3 years ago. Like, okay, calm down. Like, I want to hate and love on people just like anyone else. But the day one, day two training camp videos are a bit much. It means absolutely nothing. Anyway, I was going to do an Ozzy tribute. That kind of was my Ozzy tribute. I feel like they're going to hit me up for the music. I bet Sharon Osbourne, she's going to come right after me. She's a shrewd businesswoman, the Sharon Osbourne. So I don't know how much more Ozzy I could play, but absolutely R.I.P. Prince of Darkness. Last night I went to I usually do a movie. I say keep it short, you know. Last night I did a very LA thing. I went to the Vista Theater, which is owned by Quentin Tarantino, and he was showing Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 on 32 millimeter or whatever the fuck it is. People in LA really go crazy about what movies are shot on and what they're shown in. Like I barely know the difference. I don't understand. But it was back to back the way he entitled it, the way he wanted it, like it was at Cannes Film Festival. And it was good, obviously. You know, it's Kill Bill Volume 1, 2. You've seen it before in a packed house. But it was with a Tarantino crowd, an LA Tarantino crowd. Oh, my God, are they into Tarantino? They wear the outfits, the thing. They just get in there cheering for Michael Madsen. They didn't cheer for Harvey Weinstein. I gave a little applause for Harvey Weinstein. His credits. He's an Oscar winner. Show some respect. They didn't cheer for David Carradine either. He's dead too. But Madsen, he got the round of applause. Anyway, it was fun to go out, but it was long. They had an intermission. I was thinking about leaving then. I'm like, I'll watch that. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can duck out right before they kill Bill, because that's a nice half hour at the end. I don't need to see the Bill get killed. It's in the title. I mean, I know what happens. He gets killed. Anyway, all right. What else do we want to talk about? That was fun though. Before we get into the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there's some other things that people have been asking me about. I'll bring up mainly the FS1 headline that they are having Barstool come over to replace all those horrible shows. First day, Fox Sports 1, they fired Joy Taylor and Keyshawn and Sean McCoy and Akbo and all those shows that were in the middle of the day that were competing with the ESPN debate shows. And unlike the Stephen Colbert thing, you can say these were literally the worst shows on television. They were horrible. Speak first or speak up, and I'm going to speak right now. Whatever it was. Just terrible shows. So you think Fox Sports would learn a lesson? Like, okay, well, let's go a different angle. Now, let's just get more obnoxious people. Let's just see if you like these obnoxious people. You don't like obnoxious athletes? Do you like obnoxious podcasters? A la the Man in the Box. No, so they're bringing in Barstool. Okay, great. You're going to see a lot of mustaches. You're going to see a lot of backward caps. You're going to see a lot of gamble sweats and cursing. And, oh, man. And you're going to see a lot of Portnoy. That was the main thing. Portnoy is going to be on the big noon kickoff show on Fox to counter McAfee. Because you got to counter McAfee. I've said this before. The college pregame shows, people aren't tuning in for McAfee or Corso or, Herb Street or whatever, Joel Klatt or Urban Meyer. They're there for the tailgates, college football, and what gives it the energy is the kids, drunk 18 and 19-year-olds with signs out and about. It's college football. That's the energy. That's what they don't get. So you're going to have that in the studio with Fox Sports. It doesn't matter. I'm sure Portnoy will be fine. Whatever. I don't know. I don't want to talk shit about Portnoy, but it's not going to affect anything. No one's switching over. No one switches anyway. It's just. And the reason why it doesn't even work for ESPN, that's the thing that ESPN doesn't understand. And these drunk kids are just so happy to be young. They can't believe how great life is at 19. So they're just happy. And that's what you can't emulate. Portnoy's not going to emulate. And McAfee, I don't even mind McAfee on College Game Day. I think that's where he belongs. But that field goal thing is fun. But they want him to be a fanboy, a Michigan fanboy. Like, these TV people are so dumb. I mean, obviously, they just want to make viral moments. It's just, it is what it is. But you'd think they'd be like, okay, instead of repeating the same disaster, let's try a different angle. Let's try something, I don't know, that the other one's not doing. Instead of trying to do what the other one's doing, but louder and more obnoxious. And I say they're dumb because ESPN doesn't even realize what they have with these drunk kids. Because they try to do it in college basketball. It's not the same with college basketball. You can't stuff them in a hot arena. It's got to be college football. They have to. A drunk thing has to be wandering around and just aimlessly and fall weather and just because in big colleges, even if you don't like football, you're going to the game. You're going to get drunk, and that's what and that energy feels off it. But that's ESPN. They don't know what they're doing. FS1 obviously doesn't know what they're doing. The only one does is me, the man in the box. Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Now it was announced that ESPN has got to do a big contract with the NFL coming up. They're going to probably get the red zone. That'll be a nightmare. The red zone's I already have my complaints about red zone, but if you start mixing ESPN with anything, it just gets gross. You put the ESPN personalities on red zone. We don't trust you, ESPN. We don't trust you to mess it up. We think you're going to put McAfee on there, Stephen A. doing. I mean, it's just going to be horrible, no matter what. Connection losing. I hope my connection is still strong. Hope my connection's still strong. Hope my pimp pan is still strong. Yeah, ESPN does everything they can to ruin sports. ESPN does the sports what MTV did to music. It destroyed it with its own original content. And then they can't stop doing it. And just repeating. And I love what they say, well, our program is only 10%. Yeah. Like there's a debate about the WNBA stuff. I try to stay out of that. Like it's forced down our throats, but it's only 15% of the programming. Yeah, of the live programming. But then you have 24 hours. See, that's the thing. You guys don't need 24 hours of content. Of news, sports, or any of the shit. So then you have debates, and oh my God. Bill Cruz, welcome to the chat. He wants to know if they rejected my submission. I did not submit Bill Cruz to FS1 or Barstool, for that matter. I have dignity. No, I don't have dignity. But no, I didn't put a submission. The man in the box is just here by himself, shouting out in the corner to my degenerates, and that's all I need. Because it's all I got. It's all you guys will give me. Just me, some Ozzy Osbourne clips that I'm going to get sued for. Here's the thing with Dave Portnoy. Now, I said I wasn't going to get into it, but what I don't understand, I mean, I do understand, and my thing against Barstool is they were, Deadspin, of course, dominated for a while. Then they went bankrupt because of the lawsuit when they posted the Hulk Hogan video. Basically, when they outed Peter Thamel, whatever his name is, for being gay, and he got revenge against him. and sued him. Barstool was a much dumber Deadspin, and they reveled it, and Portnoy obviously is the leader of it. But they built their empire of just ripping off video feeds on Twitter and just using burner accounts and doing all kinds of shady things. They still do it now, but they have so much money, it doesn't matter. But now that's what Twitter is, or X, whatever you want to say. That's all X is. There used to be a time when stealing content was shamed. Now it's the whole business model of Twitter. That's all they do is there's one video that goes out in the morning. Everyone takes that video, rips it, and does their own joke karaoke version of whatever it is. And that's what it, like no one is, it's so fucking blatant of everyone just taking, and it's just accepted. That's what's disgusting. So that's the thing. There's no creative original thoughts. Am I jealous of Barstool financially? Sure. 100%. Why wouldn't I be? Creatively, absolutely not. There's not one thing they do creatively over there that I'm like, oh man, I wish I thought of that. They have 1,000 programs. It's all about their own selves, and you can't get rid of it. I've blocked so many Barstool accounts. It doesn't matter. They flood. It's like the more you block them, the more they multiply, and floods. It's. Anyway, good luck. It's better than the shit shows that were on there on FS1. I hope they fail. Actually, you shouldn't hope for someone fails. I do. I hope they fail because everyone fails miserably. How about when Megyn Kelly said Stephen Colbert was a failure? 10 years as a talk show host and the #1 rated show. To be a pundit. What the fuck were you, Megyn Kelly? Anyway. See what happens with me. Why am I starting to show like that? Am I down because of Ozzy? What's going on here? Let's talk some Circa, right? Because that's interesting. That's where the $20 and the $20 million comes from. Because, see, Generates, you know I'm joining the Circa Survivor contest. That's how I plan on getting $20 million and the Circa Millions. It's the world's greatest sports book. It's hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Las Vegas. Not only the million, the Survivor, and the Grandissimo. $21 million guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with me, the man in the box, and SGPN at Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st and 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada. Play anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees from Foxy Proxy herself. Also brought to you by Underdog. I got a weird connection with Underdog. Their Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog also is a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. So sign up with promo code BOMBS, claim your special pick, first time deposit, offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code BOMBS. All right, I just signed up for a couple of their Mega Millions, whatever the hell that's called. There, that's like their flagship contest. It's a $25 entry, Best Ball, and they give away millions. So I mean, obviously you compete with a lot, and Best Ball is fun. There's no anxiety of who you got to start, who you got to drop. You just draft 20 guys, you forget it, and you go, and then you go. Speaking of going, let's get into the Carolina Panthers. Do I have a Carolina Panther song? Probably not. Do I even have a cat sound effect? No, I don't.
It ain't gonna work, buddy.
Yeah, I need to open up my my soundboard clips. I'll play some football song though. Let's start with the Carolina Panthers. Let's do this NFC South. We did, what did we do? We did Saints and Falcons last time. So now we're into Carolina and Tampa Bay to finish it off. Let's Carolina Panthers. They were 5-12 last year. They were 8-9 against the spread. They were known as the worst team in the league. Then they had a weird year. They started off horrendous with Bryce Young. Then Andy Dalton came in. And then he had like a mysterious car wreck. And Bryce Young came back. That was the only way Bryce Young was going to come back, if there was a car wreck. And he did. And all of a sudden, he looked like a different player. He was incredible, actually. Not incredible, but in those last 8 games of the year, Bryce Young threw for 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Looked like a completely different person. He was lost. He was awful. He was the biggest bust ever. And then all of a sudden, maybe he's better than C.J. Stroud. Who knows? Their head coach is Dave Canales. Second year, Dave Canales. He's 10-1 to win Coach of the Year. There's a window. There's an alley for him to win Coach of the Year. He's got a narrative. He famously wrote a book about his addiction to masturbating, that his wife made him do it after she found him cheating on him. All right. That's interesting. It's a tough call. What would you rather do? Would you rather break it off, get divorced? Hey, I cheated on you. Let's wrap it up, but then you're going to take all my money? Or do I write a public book about my addiction to masturbating? He went with the latter. So what can we say? He moved on, and now he's the coach of the Panthers, and that offense started to work towards the second half of the last year. Their win total 6.5, which seems a little one more win than last year. Their Super Bowl odds are 215-1 if you want to throw money away, 90-1 to win the NFC, plus 445 to win the South, plus 270 to make the playoffs. They're interesting, these Carolina Panthers. Problem was their defense last year was very bad. Very, very, very bad. Now, I know they're getting their best player, Brown, back, but I still don't know how good it's going to be. And they didn't even use their first-round pick on defense. They did their second round there with Princely Umalamana and whoever, a couple guys. But their offense should be good. Their defense should be bad. You have Chuba Hubbard, fine running back. He is 28-1 to lead the league in rushing yards. 200-1 to win Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know. Chuba Hubbard, he's, how about Chuba? He's good. Nothing insanely great. They did draft Trevor Etienne's little brother, who was 201 to win Rookie of the Year. If Hubbard gets hurt, who knows? Feach, welcome to the chat. He says his ex-wife wanted him to write about addiction to the man in the box. Well, nothing wrong with fan erotica. If you want to write some fan fiction about the man in the box, I will post that and read it. All right, let's get more into the Carolina Panthers. There's a couple ones now. Things can go bad as well. Obviously. What if Bryce Young is the first Bryce Young that we saw for the first year and a half and not the last 8 games? What if he's that guy? And that guy was horrible. I mean, he was absolutely disgusting to even look at.
It's bad luck just seeing a thing like that.
Then they're in play for most losses in the of anyone in the season at 15-1. Fewest points, 30-1. But I don't think fewest points because I like their offense. But 15-1 is in play for the losses. We'll go down and schedule them a little bit, but let's look at some plays here. Bryce Young, 60-1 to lead the league in passing yards. I don't know about that. 65-1 to win MVP. I don't know about that. I did see a total. His total for the year is 17.5 touchdowns. That I like the over. I'm going to put a bomb on that one. Now, he's a short fella. He's a little fella, but they got 3 tall receivers now. They got Xavier Legette, the country bumpkin. They drafted Ted McMillan, who's 11-1 to win Rookie of the Year. I actually like Xavier Legette a little better than Ted McMillan. Everyone loves Ted McMillan, think he's going to be the number 1, and he could be. They say his route running is a little questionable. I just like country Xavier Legette. He eats raccoons, for crying out loud. Afraid to go in the river. And you can get him on a really cheap price. So if you're drafting fantasy-wise, I mean, there's a chance Xavier could be the number one. Tell you who else you don't throw out. You don't throw out Adam Thielen. And I think they signed Hunter Renfrow, for crying out loud. Just in case Thielen goes down, you need to replace a white on a white.
Give it up for the exciting whites.
You know what I mean? You can't just replace a Thielen with a Jalen McMillan or something. You have to put another white guy who sold real estate or whatever the hell Hunter Renfrow did for a year. So I like Bryce Young over 17 touchdowns. I don't know. There's not too many. I don't like Ted McMillan rookie of the year. Princely Umanamala. How do you want to pronounce this? 210 to 1 defensive rookie of the year. That's ambitious, but he is an edge rusher who can pull up sacks, and he will be playing. I would rather have that than J.C. Horn, for crying out loud. For defensive player of the year. A lot of different opportunities you can go with. Anyway, let's go to the slides. Here you go, C. Generous. This is why you come in for the NFL preseason team reviews for my Canva skills. That's Tampa Bay. That's not working. Let's go. Here we go. Carolina. All right. Let's take a look here at the Carolina Panther schedule, and let's see if we can get over or under 6.5 wins for your Carolina Panthers.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
I never have a reason to play that soundbite. It's not even that good. Might just play it. All right. They open up the season at Jacksonville.
Duval.
That's going to be that's a barn burner. The line is 3.5. Jacksonville is laying 3.5 at home versus Carolina. That's going to be that's a tough game. I might be taught. Listen, I love I like my Jags, and I'll be on the Jaguar segment on the main show next Monday with Sean and Ryan. The Jaguars are my Gumar. The Eagles are my my family, my wife. Raised with Philly. You can't leave Philly no matter what. But every fan needs a Gumar on the other conference, a little side dish. Kind of not like a separate family like those SEC coaches. How about those SEC coaches? Forget the Coldplay affair. How about those like SEC like weird Southern guys who have like separate, complete second families? Like, just cheat on your wife. What are you doing? Why are you raising a new set of kids and doing back to what are you doing? A sitcom? It's crazy talk. Anyway. Jacksonville's my Gumar. They do have Duval. So it's Canales. For instance, that's going to be a tough one. I think Jacksonville gets that, so we're going to go 0-1. Then they go to Arizona, Carolina. I like Arizona again this year. They might be 0-2. And they finally come home to Atlanta. That's a winnable game, 100%. It's going to be in Carolina. A lot of Bojangles going on. In Charlotte. I was just in North Carolina during the hurricanes or whatever it was out there, and a lot of it's torn apart. A lot of it wasn't affected. A lot of them didn't even know it was happening. But I know they love their Panthers. They love their sports teams out there. Charlotte's kind of becoming like a mini Dallas almost. Wild place. So I think home opener, they got something for Atlanta. I want to go ahead and give them that a little one. So we'll go 1-2, and then you're at New England. A lot of different opinions on New England. People are really high on New England. I'm not as high on them. Still not a great way to start the schedule. All right, we'll have them drop that New England game. Then you come home to Miami. Back-to-back Miami, Dallas. I think they get both of those games. I tell you what, out of New England, Miami, Dallas, they're winning 2 of those. I'll give them that. I don't know which ones are which. Definitely beating Dallas because Dallas sucks. We all know. We all know that. You ask why?
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
100%. So now that puts them at 3-3. Okay, I got them at 3-3. That's ambitious. Now they're at the Jets. I'm not a fan of the Jets this year or Justin Fields, but they're going to lose that game. They're losing to the Jets only because they just beat the Cowboys. So they're 3-4. Buffalo, I don't care where that game's at. They're getting destroyed by Buffalo. And you got the Packers on the road in Lambeau. When I think of Carolina at Green Bay, I think of those old Kerry Collins Panthers with Wesley Walls and Ricky Prohl and Ray Caruth. Ray Caruth, a very underrated murdering NFL player. I mean, he's a murderer, but he's the one who went on the lam for a while. Remember when the Carolina Panthers first came on the scene? They went like 14-2. Them and the Jags were 12-4, whatever they went. An expansion year. Kerry Collins came out of the Charlotte Police Department after having a DUI, smoking a cigar. The same week he got accused of calling his teammate the N-word during practice. Just smoking a cigar and smiling. I'm like, geez, these guys don't give a fuck.
And once again, we apologize for CJ's language.
So that's still a loss at the Packers. So now I have them at 3-6. But now we come home to the Saints. We all know the Saints are going to be a debacle no matter who they start at quarterback. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, whoever it is. Falcons is a loss. So now we're at 4-7, I believe. Niners is a loss at primetime. Really? We have to watch San Francisco and Carolina on primetime? Who's making these schedules? Can I flex this out already? Can you flex before the season starts? So that is 4-8, I believe I have them at. Now we have the Rams at home. That's an interesting game. LA coming all the way across country there. And then you have the bye going into it. That could be a surprise upset. I'll put a little asterisk on that, 4.5. Then a bye. Then the Saints on the road. I think they lose the Saints. All right, they're going to win with one of the Rams or the Saints there. So I'll give them 5 wins there. Now you got Tampa Bay at home, Seattle at home, and Tampa Bay on the road to finish up the season. We're at 5 wins. We need to get 2 of those 3. It's possible. I'll give them 1 Tampa just because it's divisional game. So that's 6. Now it comes down to, will they beat Sam Darnold at home? The ex-Carolina Panther quarterback, Sam Darnold. Little revenge game. Then you have Tampa Bay's Baker Mayfield revenge game. That's a problem when you're to Carolina with these revenge games. There's a lot of revenge games because you guys were terrible and you went through a lot of quarterbacks. But Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, back-to-back revenge game quarterbacks, they could get ran out. So I have them right around 6 wins. And the over is shaded to -135. So you know what? I think we're going to go contrarian here, and we're going to go under 6.5 wins for Carolina. How about that? How about that?
And I'll leave it at that.
And so will I.
Remember they had Baker Mayfield playing defensive end on a scout team? Like, what's going on with there? That owner's ridiculous. Everything's just ridiculous. That's why I don't trust Carolina. There's always some kind of chaos that happens just when you think things are going to go well. But then you have, maybe they could jerk a few off, if you will. Squeeze a few out, if you will. So Carolina Panthers, we're going to go under 6.5 wins. Most losses is a bit much. We will go Bryce Young over 17.5 touchdown passes. All of Xavier Legette overs. I like those. And a little sprinkle on Princely Luminian for 210 to win Rookie of the Year. Umalamanian. All right. Now that we're done with the Carolina Panthers, let me tell you, of course, about MyBookie, and then we'll talk about Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the team that's going to win that division. But first, notes. Why am I doing that? I gotta go to design. Because I gotta tell you about MyBookie. MyBookie, wherever I bet, he bets. MyBookie. MyBookie, MyBookie AG. We're brought to you by MyBookie AG. It's your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and, of course, football futures. Who doesn't like a WNBA lady bet?
Dancing for ladies!
MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning-fast payouts using crypto. You want to bet that I like for tonight on MyBookie? Sure. How about those Cleveland Guardians? Until, as of now, they're called the Cleveland Guardians. Trump, of course, wants them to be back to the Indians because they were part of the original six. We're all familiar with the original six baseball teams, right? They're minus 128 versus Baltimore. It's Ciccone versus Eflin. Eflin's coming off injury where he hasn't pitched in a while. He had like an 8 ERA. So I know they've won the last two. I think they won 3 of the 4. Give me the Cleveland Guardians over Baltimore tonight, minus 128. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, promo code for 100% deposit match up to $1,000 terms, and conditions apply to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. I know that MyBookie will be happy that I brought up Trump during their ad read. That's what the companies usually, their feedback to me. More political they want with their ad reads. That's what they tell me. Anyway, we're also brought to you by Rhythm. The Rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you with props. You've heard me talk about Rhythm before. And they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends, the best of the best what their house model has to offer. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean, data-driven bets. Their WNBA Power Trends for their ladies.
Dancing for ladies!
Their lady trends are 35 and 20 since they've launched. That's 63%. Their baseball power trends are 254 and 147. That's 63.4%. A power trend that they like tonight, if you want another power trend, is Ernie Clement, third bagger for Toronto, under 1.5 hits. So get your 7-day free trial today. Go to sportsgamepodcast.com/rhythm. Get your models, get your power trends. Do it all. Because the man in the box sent you. The man in the box didn't send you anywhere. Oh, there we go. Hide. Let me go back to the studio. Here I am to raise the day. Wait, is it me or am I out of it? You see, generates are helping. You're helping me stay along. I'm starting to lose my sanity. I've always said that, but thank you. That's a good time to thank the C-Generates for tuning in live. And Feach, John, Bill Cruz, everyone here in the live chat room. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube to like it. Even if you don't like it, lie. Tell your phone you like it. It's all that matters. Subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs. Subscribe to me. Surrender to me. Bow to me. Bow to Zod. On X, I'm CJ Sullivan _ Instagram, CJ Sullivan was taken _ in between each word. You can email me at bottomlinebombs at the SGPN. It's bottomlinebombs at the SGPN.com. Anyway. All right. Let's get in. What was I saying? Yeah, that could be the name of my segment I can do as well. What was I saying? What was I talking about? Why was I doing this? Why am I here? Why are you there? I love it. I love doing the show. And there's something definitely different about doing a show alone. I love having a live audience. You guys keep me definitely in check. Sometimes when I say I'm the man in the box, like it's just the mind goes. I've said this before. I have definitely had a lot more respect for. Because I just saw Rich Eisen's show is coming to ESPN. That was a big news. Great. Whoopee. How is that going to be any different? Okay, I have to turn the station if I want to listen to his. Whatever. I'm not going to criticize him. But all the sports talk shows, they're so painfully mediocre. And then they all try to that Howard Stern model where they just have all their employees on there. And they talk to them, like, this producer, that producer. And they talk about, the workspace politics and all that shit. Land Lebertard show, they have like 15 people. It's crazy. That's why I have more respect for Jim Rome. And that's why I'm a cross between Jim Rome and Alex Jones, kind of. And even Alex Jones, I get it. I get what happens. when you have no audience and you're just losing your mind into madness and you got to fill the air. I understand why he says things like frogs make you gay or school shootings didn't happen. Because, hey, we'll see what sticks. Who knows? It's just me back here. Just kidding, of course. All right, let's get into those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This sounds like a Buck song. It's not, though. That's a Hartford Whalers song. The Buccaneers are doing their throwback uniforms a lot this year. They have great creamsicle uniforms. If there's anyone who should be doing throwback uniforms, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those Reggie Cobbs, those Vinny Testaverdes, when they were really bad. These Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won this division 4 straight times. They're low-key dominate the NFC South. You don't think about it because the NFC South's not that strong, but Tampa Bay, very good. They were 10-8 last year. Same thing against the spread. 10-7, then they lost the playoff. They blew that playoff game versus Washington Commanders. For now. They lost Liam Cohen, of course. He is down in Jacksonville.
Duval.
So they have another offensive coordinator, Josh Gizzard. This will be Baker's 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years at Tampa Bay and his 8th in his last 8 years as a pro. So he just keeps on going. Todd Bowles is their head coach. He's 55-1 to win Coach of the Year. He will not win Coach of the Year. He just will not get credit. We just don't give him credit. One, he's a defensive guy, and their defense is kind of mediocre, but they did draft a bunch. But Baker Mayfield and this Buccaneers offense, they can do a lot of damage. Their over-under is 9.5 wins. They're 35-1 to have the most wins in the NFL. Plus 850 to have the most points. You can get an alt total at 10.5. I think I might be playing those. We didn't go through the schedule yet, but once we get through the schedule, I might be looking at some Buccaneer alts. I know that. I'm a big fan of these Bucs. They have been ascending each year. 2 years ago, they not almost won Detroit, but they gave Detroit a nice run for their money. They're good. They beat all the top teams. They beat Philly every year. They almost won at Kansas City. They can play with anybody. And Baker Mayfield, he's shake and bake, baby. He is back doing his thing.
It's showtime. Baker. Let's go racing today, boys.
I mean, he's back to wilding around. He is 40-1 to win the MVP, and I don't think that's a bad ticket. 10-1 to lead the league in passing yards, plus 1150 to lead the league in interceptions. He had a lot of interceptions last year. But that's what you get with Baker. Hey, somebody's going to catch the ball. He's not like Winston, but he's a lower, kind of a more subdued version. Someone's going to get the damn ball when he puts it up there. If you want it, you can get it. If not, they can have it too. But I will not be here for any Baker smudging. If you see my thumbnail there, I put double Baker. One when he's on Carolina, one when he's on Tampa Bay, making fun of Tommy DeVito because he's an Italian racist.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
All right. My first protector of the year play, Tristan Wirfs, who is the best offensive tackle maybe in football from Mount Vernon, Iowa. He's 11-1. Bucky Irving. Everyone's high on Bucky Irving this year, especially in fantasy. He's 20-1 to lead the league in rushing yards, 55-1 offensive player of the year. It's tough to see. I mean, he's going to get his. 950 is his total. But they have so many receivers too, the Bucs. Obviously, they have old man Mike Evans, 95-1, who never slows down. Chris Godwin, who had a horrible injury, but he's back. Signed for less for Tampa Bay. Jalen McMillan, who was last year's first-round pick. And they drafted, shockingly, Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, who is 35-1 to win Rookie of the Year. Now, he's worth a sprinkle. First of all, I like this Egbuka. Everyone does. He's from Ohio State. He's great. There's a lot of people in front of him, but let's just say Mike Evans gets a little banged up. I don't want to say that, but it's possible. He is 47 years old.
It's bad luck just seeing a thing like that.
Godwin's injury is soon, so there's a chance it could be McMillan and Abuka playing. If so, 35-1 is not bad for rookie of the year. On defense, they added Hassan Reddick. They lost Jordan Whitehead. Hassan Reddick, he should be healthy and fresh, right? He hasn't played in 2 years. He's wrestled some sumo wrestlers. I saw that, but then all of a sudden, then he hasn't just not cared. So I bet he'll play for Bowls. That's for sure. They do have Kalaj Kennedy. He only played 12 games last year, but led the team in 7.5 sacks. And Tyreek Smith. They're a good team. Tampa Bay is legit good. So let's get right to the schedule and see if we can get them. Let's see if we can get them to. If we can get them to 12 or 13 wins, then most wins is in play at 35-1. I'll say that. Let's see how the schedule shakes up, C-Generates. Let's go. Let's head on over to the schedule. There we are. Pardon me there. I should do the Lou Holtz coughings. Speaking of Bill Cruz, who's in the old fantasy football league, they're a champion of the fantasy football league. Actually, he beat me in the championship game. That son of a bitch. But that's part of the reason I have the Lou Holtz thing there. I got him to do our draft order, and he got it wrong. But what are you going to do when you have Lou Holtz, who might be right behind Ozzy Osbourne?
And people that are productive.
They're definitely productive. Anyway, like we said, Tampa Bay 10-8 last year. Let's get right into this schedule here. They start off week 1 at the Atlanta Falcons. We broke down this game yesterday, -2.5. Tampa Bay's 2.5-point favorite on the road. That's going to be a Freaknik kind of a game. Obviously, it's a toss-up. I think, it's a tough game. I mean, it's really just it's a coin toss game. I trust Tampa Bay over Atlanta there. So we're going to take Tampa Bay 1-0. Then they are on the road on a Monday night game at Houston. All right, they're going to split these games. They're going to split these first 2 road games, 1-1. If they lose to Atlanta, they beat Houston, or vice versa. I don't know what Houston's going to be this year. Their offensive line was so bad, and they think they improved it. They thought they kind of improved it, but then they kind of did not. So who knows? Doesn't matter. Now they come back down to Florida, 1-1. They got the Jets at home. Good night, nurse. Justin Fields and the Jets and Aaron Glenn are going to get whooped up by Tampa Bay. So we're 2-1, Tampa Bay. And now the Philadelphia Eagles come to town, the Super Bowl champions.
All I gotta say is go fucking bird!
Oh, we apologize for that.
We apologize. Landon has.
I will say one thing. The Eagles lose at Tampa Bay. They do it every year. It's just a place they do not do well in. They lost the playoff game. Hurts' first playoff game. They lost last year. They lost 2 years ago. They lost 2 playoff games there, actually. They get smacked around sometimes in Tampa Bay, especially in September with that southern heat.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Is this the week they shake it around? I want to say no. I'm going to say Tampa Bay gets them again, 3-1. It's just what happens. Then they go to Seattle for a tough game. I'm going to give Sam Darnold that one, just a bounce back, 3-2. I'll give it to Seattle. Now they come home to the Niners in a nice revenge spot there. They played last year, and that's going to be a duel. Give me Tampa Bay to beat San Francisco. So what do we have, Matt? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wins. Right? Is that what I have, Matt? 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2. 4-2. Going to Detroit. That'll be a doozy. Now, is Detroit just because they lost Ben Johnson? I mean, they play well. Baker plays these lines well. They're not going to win this game. No, 4-3 on Monday night. Then they come home. Then they go to New Orleans. They'll win that one before the bye. So they're 5-3. Come home off the bye versus New England at 6-3. At Buffalo is a tough one, 6-4. At the Rams on Sunday night. This was rumored to be a Thanksgiving game. It is not a Thanksgiving game. Oh boy, that could be a tough one too. Maybe they lose that one as well. Maybe they are now 6-6, I believe. Yeah, 6-6, right? 6-5. Cardinals at home is this is where they're going to start racking up wins though. The last 6 weeks of the season, degenerates, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers only leave the state of Florida once. You have home versus the Cardinals, home versus the Saints, home versus the Falcons. Then they go at Carolina. Who cares? At Miami, right down the road, right down A1A, Vanilla Ice, Beachfront Avenue, and then they finish with Carolina at home. This is where they can really clean up and start running. So I don't mind if you even wait on a Tampa Bay play. When Tampa Bay's like 6-6 or 5-6 and people are kind of down on them, just know, degenerates, that the Buccaneers have a sweep at the end. They could go 6-0, no problem there at home to finish that season off, finish that schedule off. So I have them clearing 9.5 wins easily. I'm going to take the alternative 10.5 wins plus 235. They're going to win the division. I don't know if it's worth a play, but they're definitely worth a play on the NFC to win 22-1 or even a Super Bowl, because I think they have a shot at getting the 1 seed if they get 12 wins, which they can if they go 6-0 towards the end. Cardinals at home win. Saints at home win. Falcons at home win. That's 3 in a row, all in the sombrero, as I like to say. Then at Carolina, at Miami, Carolina sandwich. Yeah, I like it. Give me these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Degenerates United ML, welcome to the chat. So there it is. All right, and as far as individual plays, Bucky Irving worth a sprinkle to lead the league in rushing yards at 20-1. Ukba worth a sprinkle. Baker Mayfield, 40-1 MVP, also worth a sprinkle. Bomb it in. I'm in on these Bucs. I don't think losing Liam Cohen's going to hurt much. I think just because that offense, they have so many weapons. So there it is. And that'll wrap up Tampa Bay and Carolina. We did it, folks. We see degenerates. Now let's get into the box. God, the shows go so much faster when you're talking NFL football. When I'm not mucking and grinding and trying to get $1 out of 15 cents with a WNBA play or a British Open play. No, I like the British Open. There's a golf tournament this weekend, actually, the 3M Open. I don't mind the other sports, but football it's more easier, especially this part. Once we get into August, like Friday night before Sunday, those are my most exciting times for the NFL football. When it's not right tomorrow, it's a little bit ahead, so you can still dream. All your futures look good. All the scenarios you put in your head, they're all great. You can do whatever you want with it. And then once we get our 20 million, though, once Survivor starts, things get real, and then we ship it, and then finally,
Big Earn is above the law. It's a great.
It's just a great feeling. Anyway, we are in the box. I said I might give you guys a surprise little treat, and I think you guys deserve it. Thank you, everyone, for listening and subscribing to the Bottom Line Bombs. As you know, I also host another podcast called the Blackout Diaries with Sean Flannery. Completely different than this. Not too different, actually. It's a drinking storytelling show. And I know some of you guys are fans over here and also fans over there. I know that because sometimes you're in the chat saying, hey, when are you guys going to have a Pope show about the Chicago Pope? Well, I'm here to tell you we did it. We had a Chicago Pope show. Well, we had a Catholic show theme because each week we do a different theme to drinking and debauchery, and we have a guest on, either a comic or a non-comic. They do a set from the live show. We interview them, blah, blah, blah. But this time we had, we actually got the Chicago Pope, Pope Leo, because the show's based in Chicago. Sean Flannery still lives in Chicago. There's a live show at the Lincoln Lodge there. And amazingly, the Pope of the world from Chicago, Pope Leo, granted his first ever podcast interview with us on the Blackout Diaries. So I thought I'd give you guys a little snippet of that. And you can go subscribe to Blackout Diaries and find a new episode for the full interview. But here's a few clips from the Pope himself, Chicago Pope Leo. Let me see if I can play it here. On our show, the Blackout Diaries. Pope, are you with us?
Are these the Irish guys?
hey, Pope.
Hey, guys, it's the Pope. What are you doing?
Oh, my God. What an honor.
What an honor. What an honor. Thank you, Your Holiness. How should we, is it Your Eminence, Your Holiness? Do you have a preference, Pope?
I like the holiness, but I got to tell you, everybody knows that guy who's, hey, I'm better than everybody else. For the record, that guy's a jagoff.
Wow, this is amazing. What a breath of fresh air this is. You seem like a relatable Pope. I know you're from Chicago. The way you talk is just like us is unbelievable.
Nobody thinks they're going to be the Pope. First off, shout out to my guys in Canaryville. So I got a couple of good guys back at the yards. These were all the guys that took care of me when I was in Chicago. They got me on a truck out at the airport, and I was priesting at night. And I was just out there doing masses, like open mics, kind of.
Yeah.
It was the thing we were doing. Because at that time, the Catholic Church was hot. You know what I mean? It was in a lot of trouble. So there was this whole alt scene going on where we weren't banging kids.
Right.
And so it was this whole kind of thing we had going on, and we changed the game a little bit. It was a little fresh. And then all of a sudden that kind of took its moment. Then God forbid the last guy, from Argentina, bouncer too. I used to work the door at Cronies.
What? You
Back
did?
on Fridays. Yeah, it was like $5 all you could drink well. And then you go to hang-ups, they give away a party. It was crazy, but that's how I knew that guy. We would share bouncing stories. And I was on good paper with him. And we knew some union guys in Peru, which is where I'm Creole.
Right.
I got some Peru in me. Not a lot of good Peru shit happening in Chicago. We're going to change that.
Amazing. That is the Pope. Pope Leo, actually also known as Mick Betancourt, who does amazing Chicago Pope videos. Thank you, everyone. It says it's just who's watching it. I was just realizing I didn't have a photo to put up there, even a video. So it was just you guys were just watching me reacting to him. But that's what online stuff is now. You go on TikTok, it's all reaction videos or people looking at videos, and they get more hits than the actual video itself. So going, oh man, what's he doing there? Whoa. Hey, I'll play one more because he did really crack us up, Mick Betancourt, the Pope. This is we had to ask him. And this is sports related because there's been a lot of controversy. Is he a White Sox fan? Is he a Cubs fan? His brother sells him out, the whole thing. So we got to ask the Pope which is he, White Sox or Cubs? And he finally settles it. Chicago Pope from the Blackout Diaries. How about you go to Chicago-fy a little bit? I know you always represent, but what can we expect for that? No, maybe not. Wrong one. Hold on. Here it is. Well, Pope, there's been a lot of debate if you're a White Sox or Cubs fan. What's the final verdict from the Pope himself on what your affiliations are in Chicago?
My affiliation is this. When I was in grade school, if you didn't stab your teacher, basically you got White Sox tickets. They just came in some little packet. You could get 140 checks. That was our delinquency grading. And then if you basically didn't stab your teacher, they gave you 2 free White Sox tickets. Now, anybody of this generation, mine, I guess I would be considered Gen X. Mm-hmm. You only found out you had parents when you were 18 and were leaving the house. They were just never around. So if you didn't stab your teacher, you got 2 tickets, and you had to go find one of these rumored parents. and this is basically what you had to tell them. Listen, I know you're working 9 jobs. Dad left for whatever reason. You still haven't told me. I would like you to take me to a place right across the most dangerous housing projects in the country. Can you do that, Mom? Who's raising 2 boys that are basically mutts? Can you take me into the housing projects to watch Carlton Fisk For the love of God.
Oh my God! And that's the Pope, mind you. I don't have to remind you guys. That's the actual Pope talking like that. It's great to have a Chicago Pope in there who went to Villanova, by the way. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Just a little treat from the Blackout Diaries of Chicago Pope. We're very excited for it. That's in there. That's a new episode this week. Thank you for listening and watching for today's episode. Next week, we're going to crank up even more football. We're going to go through all the teams. We're going to have guests on for different teams and stuff like that. This was the first 4 we banged out. Yeah, like I said, I never know how to end this thing. Of course, we'll tell Lou Holtz maybe bring it home a little bit here.
I'm Lou Holtz, and you're listening to the Man and the Buck and the Bottom Line Bombast.
The bombastic, John. Thank you, everyone in the chat. You guys know who you are. Now a little Prince of Darkness. Hopefully, Sharon, that bully, that boss of a wife of his, doesn't sue me for playing a little tribute to one of the greatest frontmen of all time, one of my heroes, Hit Parader's own Ozzy Osbourne. Get in your cars and go home, C-Generates. See ya.